Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? Thanks for joining us. Back in the A320 today, the old faithful. After yesterday, in the 737, I feel like I'm slightly running back to the safety of the A320, but you know, these things happen. So here we are. We are in Amsterdam, and we're doing a short hop to Dublin. Should be about an hour and 20 in the air, so not very long. Should be quite a nice little flight though. Looking forward to it. So, we're doing a cold and dark start today. As you can probably tell, we're at the gate. So I think we should probably get into the flight deck and get things going. Alrighty, let's hop on inside. Here we are. So as you can see, everything's off. So let's make sure we've got our engine switches in the off position, throttles in idle, parking brake is on. Everything's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Right, let's hop up to the overhead panel and we'll get some things started. Right, let's get the batteries on to start with. There we go, and we've got external power because we're at a gate, which is good. Okay, nav and logo lights on. Get the APU master on, and then we will start it, but of course we have to wait a little while for it to come to life. What we can do is get these on the go. These are our nav systems, 1, 2 and 3. The further you are from the equator, the longer it takes for the nav system to actually become available because it has to calibrate itself. There is a shortcut where you can make the sim do it all on its own. As in, it will do it instantly, but for the sake of realism, we'll hang tight. There we go. So it's available now. So now we do APU bleed. You can probably hear that APU just starting to fire up. Alright, so now we've got the APU. That's giving us some power. Hey, Swish, you're back. How's it going? There we go, so external power is now off, and we're running on the power of the APU, as in that little tiny jet at the back of the aircraft, right in the tail cone. You're good, glad to hear it. Good to see you in the stream again, thanks for coming by, I do appreciate that. Yesterday was a bit interesting, huh? More practice required on the 737 for sure. For sure. Alright, let's get these fuel pumps on. And our crew supply of oxygen. Set our emergency lights on. No smoking lights. And we're just looking for any white lights. And I cannot see any. It's all looking good. Oh, you're working in school listening to me. Nice. Well, do us proud. Whatever you're doing, do your best. Cool, so wipers are off. So yeah, let's get these brightened up a little bit. As you can see, we've got no nav. Working on math, oh nice. Just set to the local pressure actually. What is it? 1015. 1015. Have a good flight, thank you, appreciate it. Shouldn't be a massively long flight today, should be fairly chill. Should be cool. Okay. Let's go into our weight and balance and request our people. There we go. Hey, no worries, take it easy. You have a good day now. Nice, 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 nice. Cool. Alright, let's go to our init page over here and we will request all of our data and the plane will connect to SimBrief and pull it all in so I don't have to do anything. Hooray! Cool. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So the plane is fueled. We fueled before we started. Okay, everything's looking good here. Go to perf. And we'll do flaps at 1/UP0.1 in there. And we'll set this to -50. If we go to the next page, it's all good for now. Let's see a nip we need to go on the next page for. There it is, 0 fuel weight. Which now we're fueled and we've got people on board. You can work that out for us. Happy days. Right, back to perf. So now we've got the 0 fuel weight set, we've got our passengers on board, the plane knows how heavy it is, it knows what flaps we're going to be using to take off, which will be stage 1 of flaps. Because these are orange, if you click them, you get these values in the scratch pad down here. You know, click again, and it puts the values in, calculates it for you. Very cool indeed. There we go. Lovely. Right, flight plan. So we're going to take off from runway 24. There we go. Now, what was our star? Forgotten it already. I think it was that one. Yes, it is. Nice. So we'll just check for any discontinuities, and of course there is one. Just clear that, that'll be fine. Now coming into Dublin, we are going on to runway 16. We'll take the ILS. I'm using BAGS1K. Ooh. Not entirely sure which buyer we're supposed to be using. to go with old tag. That looks like the right one. Let's have a look. Easiest way when this comes to life in a moment is we'll have a look. Passengers are now boarded, so we can tell the jetway to clear off. There it goes. Gotta love that animation. I guess it's staying there then. Okay. So let's look at our route out. So we've got 2,500 feet. Then we go straight to flight level 360. It wants us above 2,000. Alright, so we may as well just put 3.6 in the window. If there's no other restrictions, we may as well head straight to cruise. So really all we're waiting on now is for this nav to come to life, just for us to check our route. I'm going to put it into plan. Put the constraints on as well when it's ready. I will take the opportunity to drag those onto my second screen so I can see what the plane is doing while we're looking out the window on the cruise. Keep an eye on things. Good morning, Nate. How are we? Interesting. That is interesting. Huh. So if I take... I've just noticed something. If I take these windows, if you do the right Alt button and click, you get these windows, which I can then drag onto my other screen. Then my FPS tanks. If I bring them over here, still tanks. Get rid of it. Like butter. Huh, okay. That's a interesting thing that I've just learnt. Anyway, right. Let's put this thing into plan. So this is our route out of Amsterdam, runway 24, straight out, make a turn, sort of to the left, and then we're going to make a serious turn to the right. We're going to head north initially. There we go, then make a turn to the west, head above, I guess we make landfall sort of Lincolnshire, I guess, in the UK. It'll be above Norfolk. Then we head straight across, bum 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 bum, and we're going to see if it's set up the route nicely for when we arrive in Dublin. Laudo, this sounded familiar. Right, let's see. So this is where our star ends here. Yeah, so I think what we'll do, we'll take manual control at this point. We'll vector ourselves up here, move around, bring ourselves on in for... Yeah. So what if I redo that? Arrival 16. We do no vias. What will happen then? Try that. Okay, that's looking more sensible. Just try it one more way. Aha, that's what I wanted. That's drawn us a proper little route now, because I've told it to go via the Kerav waypoint, which is where the star ends, so we can go via to the runway via this waypoint. So it's drawn us a little route. That makes a lot more sense. Good. Good. That is much better. Glorious. Right. We're almost ready for pushback. I'm never sure whether people enjoy this part of the flight or not. That's why I kind of sometimes do them, sometimes don't. It's hard to know. I mean, let me know in the chat, like, do you like cold and dark starts, or would you rather I just got flying? That's kind of what I'm trying to find out, basically. And if you are in the chat, please feel free to hit that like button. It helps a ton. Absolute ton. It can literally make or break a stream. Hey, Swiss is back. You finished your maths already. Okay, fair enough, Nate. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. Auto. Let's lock the doors, because we don't want any interruptions now, do we? Yes, on standby. Hey, good morning. How are you? You must be stateside as well, with it being morning then. It's the middle of the afternoon here. Okay, let's get our beacon lights on before pushback. There they are. Happy days. And we should probably put some seatbelt lights on. Lovely. Okay, now this is where it could all go wrong, because I don't have GSX Pro, which is that app where you can literally drag and drop a silhouette of the plane. Sort of, if I had GSX Pro right now, I could get a little silhouette of the footprint of the airliner and just drop it up here at the exact angle that I want. And it would do it all. But we don't have that. We have to use this rather clunky tablet. So let's call the tug. The plan is get them to push us back straight and then spin us up to here, where we'll do engine start and make our way down to runway 24, which is just over here. Yeah, jetway's bugged for sure. Yeah, I had it connected and it managed to move over to the door and everything, and then when I disconnected it, it moved a little bit back, then went straight over there. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Other than just flight sim shenanigans. Right. Parking brake off. Get it to push us back. I'm never sure which direction to press. I think maybe this way. Wrong way. This way. That's it, round we go. We'll leave it there, I think. Wasn't bad. That worked. Is there a live stream planned for tomorrow? Yes, there is, but I won't be here doing it. It will be a pre-recorded long-haul flight without me commentating, so it'll be like an unmanned stream. Because I do have stuff to do tomorrow. I have to be out of the house tomorrow, so I can set the stream going, get out of the house, and then get back to turn the stream off when it's done. So that's the plan for tomorrow anyway. I'm tempted to turn off the chat as well, because I quite often get some like bots that come in and kind of ruin it, and I don't want that to be a problem. I'd hate for there to be bots spamming it for hours while I'm gone, not able to do anything about it. Okay. Let us, if I can zoom in, put our engines into ignition start mode. See if we get a turbine spinning up. There's one. See if the other one goes. How do I make my own livery? With great difficulty. Honestly, it took forever. Fairly certain I did it the wrong way as well, because there's no way it should have been as difficult as I found it. You have to start editing like texture files and drawing over them with what you want to be on your plane, and have like your sort of stickers, if you like. As there's no tool to make it. No, there isn't a tool. Not like an out-of-the-box tool that will do it. Obviously, there's software you have to use to do it, but yeah, it's. Have a look on YouTube for tutorials, and would be my advice. Okay, so how are these doing? These screens brightened up a little. Yeah. Okay, now we've got our engines on. Let's jump back up here. This back into normal. Bum, bum, bum. Back up there. Right. So we can turn off the APU bleed now. And the master. And we will set our auto brakes to max just in case we have a problem either on the taxiway or on the runway. Hopefully we won't. But that would be a good way for us to get out of it if we do. And we will set our flaps to 1. You can see there, these come out. Dirties the wing a little bit, gives it a bit more lift for takeoff. Ground spoilers. Where are you? There you are, they're armed. Right, let's get some lights. Strobes. And we'll put our nose light to taxi. And we'll go for runway turn off. Alright. Time for feet on rudder pedals. And we'll mosey on down. Let's release the parking brake. We're away. Okay, what's going to be the best way out of here? We'll head on down here, do a left. So the runway that we want is actually the one that's right in front of us. That's where we're heading, just to the right over there. Down there? I think we can. Never quite sure on the taxiways. I need to sort of learn a bit more about taxiway etiquette, I think. Ready. So our lights are now set for takeoff, and let's get out on the runway and get lined up. Okay, let's put this on to the transponder onto TARA. We can press our takeoff config button, takeoff config normal. Right, dare I say it, I think we're ready. Right, let's go to Dublin. Fighting a little bit of wind here on the runway, but that's okay. Just trying to stay on that centre line. And rotate. Yeah, you can feel that wind pushing us almost immediately. Ooh. Quite a bit of sun in our eyes, making it harder to see the screens. What's that complaining about? What have I forgotten? Nav TCAS standby. Ah, there we go. for whatever reason, the nav appeared to lose us. Gear up, Matthew, indeed. Yeah, I almost forgot. R's in the chat. Hey R, how you doing? Honestly, forgetting to do gear up, what an amateur. Not bad, Swiss, not bad. Should have had the gear up earlier. I will say that. Okay, let's get our throttles into climb. Another turn coming up now just as we leave the coast. It's funny doing a cold and dark compared to when you just start on the runway. How much configuration goes into getting the planes up and running. When you just spawn on the runway, it's so easy. You just like set your route and off you go, more or less. Why is it doing that? Plane seems absolutely intent on not following the flight path today. It's very strange. Why is it doing that? See if it behaves now. That's really weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, let's get these into standard because I'm getting distracted. See you later, Swiss. Take it easy. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something obvious here. Why is it being weird like this? Hello Team FL, how you doing? Hello again. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't play X-Plane either, so I don't know what to tell you. No idea, I'm afraid. Not an X-Plane player, so I would not be the one to ask. Apologies. Right, so why have I got toga lock? How can I get out of toga lock? Because that's going to cause us a problem if we're not careful. Better. That's better. Yeah, not an X-Plane 11 player, unfortunately. Never really did play it. I played X-Plane 10 a little bit, ironically, on an iMac. I had a 5K iMac back at my old job. And I would play quite a lot of that, sort of in lunch breaks and stuff. There we go. Alright, let me get some of these windows here, get them on my other screen. Then I can see what the plane is doing while we enjoy the cruise. Let's have a bit of music as well. So I'm just keeping an extra eye on the mini-map there that you can see, because coming out of Amsterdam the plane would not follow the flight plan. I don't know whether that's because of toga lock. Not sure. Could have been. Hey Matthew, thank you for that. I appreciate it. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm not not a real pilot. I make mistakes, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. From my point of view, the channel is really much more of a destination for me to document my learning, rather than appear in front of you as an expert in flight sim. That's not what this is. This is me learning as I go and sharing it all with you, and hopefully meeting some like-minded people. So it's been great so far, it really has. I appreciate you coming along. So tomorrow the plan is to do a long haul, well, medium haul, Cyprus to Gatwick in the Airbus A330. It's about a 4-hour flight. I'm not in a position to do a live stream like this tomorrow, whereby I'll be here to talk over it and do it all live, so it's pre-recorded. I think I'm going to set it going, as in live stream the video. Set it going, then I have to go out and do stuff for the day. And then I'll come back in time to end the stream. And I think I'm probably going to turn the chat off, because we quite often get some bots that come in and annoy us. You know, trying to promote crypto or goodness knows what else. So if I'm not here to fend them off, I will probably have to turn off the chat, so apologies in advance for that. But it will make for some nice background. It's strange. I think these streams where I'm here, they kind of appeal to a more interested audience that are into planes and flight sim, that sort of thing, you know. Whereas the streams that I do, which are pre-recorded, and you know, I'm not here to do the actual flying myself live, I kind of pitch those more as like white noise, background noise, plane noise, engine noise. And I think some people quite like it for just like their work day, like if they're studying or working from home or even working from an office. I think they kind of attract two different crowds. And it's interesting. So trying to figure out this YouTube thing is quite the challenge. I've got to get better at that Boeing though, the 737. Say the flight yesterday, we took one from Gatwick down to Ibiza, and it's a bit loud. Yeah, always strikes me how different they are. Just checking on the cockpit, everything's looking good. Can't quite see land yet, but it won't. Well, maybe we can. Perhaps over there. That'll be the Norfolk coast. We'll come slightly to the right of that. Probably make landfall around Lincolnshire, I would have thought. Like that view. Yeah, I love that view. That's the view. So we're about 350 miles away from Dublin, as in track miles. So it's not actually going to be that long. So we've got a cruise of 38,000 and I've just realised I put in 36. Silly boy. It's not going to be long once we hit our cruise altitude that we have to descend again. Hey, good afternoon indeed. How are you doing? Must be night time for you now, right? Hope I'm not keeping you up. So let's have a look at the flight plan and see when we need to be at an altitude lower than cruise. Here we go. Flight level 060, so 6,000 feet at Kerav. So if we type in Kerav into the progress, chuck it in there, 303 miles. 9 PM. Oh wow, so you're like 6 hours ahead of us. 300 miles almost, exactly. And we need to go from... Whoop, there we go. 38,000 feet down to 6,000 feet. And it'd be nice to do it at 2,000 feet per minute. But let's go 1,700. So that way we can manage our energy a bit better. 118 miles. It's not bad. So that means we've got about 180 miles to top a descent. So when that value gets to 120, we'll start bringing ourselves down. Oh, look out. Uncle Mike has entered the chat. How are you? I hope you're well. Good, yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Glad to hear you're alright. Just having a bit of a chill stream today. Not long, Amsterdam to Dublin, so as you can see there's not long left to go and we've not been going long. About 160 miles to top of descent, then we'll start bringing ourselves down into Dublin. Oh, you're away, so no flying to the weekend. Well, I hope you're having a good trip wherever you are. Vaccine getaway, very nice. I could do with one of those. I find I'm good for like the first 2 days on something like that, and then I start to get fidgety. I'm very bad at committing to being relaxed. You too. What am I doing during the flight? That's a good question. Honestly, not a lot. Just kind of looking at chat, monitoring the different systems on the plane that I can see on a separate monitor. Yeah, I will be making some coffee in a few moments, you're quite right. After this, you're going to go and watch my hard landing video. Oh, yeah, that was yesterday's stream. I think it's what you're referring to, the video I put out today. It wasn't a hard landing, but it very nearly was. And the extra little bit of flair that I did at the end, I think was more luck than judgment. Really struggle with the 737. It's just such a different animal compared to this A320. But there's only one way to get better, and that's to keep doing it. Even if it does mean making a fool of myself in front of you all live on stream, not knowing what I'm doing, but that's all part of it. Like I say, this isn't this channel is not me being here to profess to you all how brilliant I am at flight sim. This is me very much documenting my learning, and maybe, yeah, you all can learn something from it as well. Maybe you know better, maybe you can help me. What coffee did I make? I think it's some Colombian coffee I have at the moment. Generally my favourite coffee is Colombian, grown at about 4,000 feet. Because the amount of oxygen at 4,000 feet slows the growth of the coffee bean, which gives you quite a nutty flavour, which I quite like. If you go much beyond 4,000 to like 5 or 6, you then start to get the more floral flavours, which I don't really like. And yes, I am a coffee nerd. You don't need to spend a lot though to get decent coffee. An AeroPress is probably one of the best investments you'll ever make if you're into coffee. They're not much. I think they're like 25, 30 pounds here in the UK. That'll get you some seriously good coffee for the money. Don't get me wrong, like if you go out to a posh espresso bar or a good coffee house, got the big machines and, you know, it can't come close to that, but then those machines cost thousands, so... Speaking of which, I'm going to go and get myself a cup, so you all enjoy the views. And I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Alright, I'm back with coffee in hand. Did I miss anything? Where are we? Okay, so that's Norfolk out the window, isn't it, roughly? And then we're going to make landfall over Lincolnshire. Okay, so we're about 100 miles away from top of descent. So the waypoint, Kerav, I guess that's how you say that. We need to be at 6,000 feet by that waypoint, and we're 218 miles away from it. And according to our tablet, we need 118 miles to descend from where we are down to 6,000 feet. Anyone else in the chat excited for the new Call of Duty to come out this week, or is it just me? Imagine if I started streaming out on this channel. Everyone would be like, what? What is this? I didn't sign up for this. Appreciate all the likes so far, by the way. Up to 7 likes, that's awesome. Honestly, it really helps the stream. Just by hitting that little button. And it's free. Yeah, it helps enormously. It's basically the one way that you can tell YouTube, hey, this is good, maybe send more people to it. I would encourage you to use it wherever possible, not just on my streams. On any content on YouTube, if you like it, it's the best thing you can do to help the person who made it. I don't know what you're talking about, but I like the accent. Happy to oblige. Well, I mean, you write very good English, so I'd say you're doing very, very well. Yeah, listening's hard, I think. You're right. It's very hard. It's like when I learned French at school. I could do it in a classroom with my teacher, because my teacher spoke slowly. Then I actually went to France, and I was like, whoa, why are they all talking so fast? I can't do it. You know what I haven't done? I haven't done an auto land on stream. And I haven't done an auto land in this plane in months and months and months. I always feel this pressure to not do an auto land on stream, so I never do. Now I'm curious as to whether I actually could if I wanted to. It's been so long. of people, especially Indonesian countries, want to learn British accents. That's interesting. It's difficult though, because there isn't just one British accent. There's loads of accents within England that vary wildly. You know, just the difference between Liverpool, Birmingham, London, Yorkshire, Newcastle. Massively different accents. I guess there is like that stereotypical British accent, perhaps, that it sounds exclusive. Don't be fooled by our accent, or my accent at least. There's nothing exclusive about me. Don't let the accent fool you. You're from Somerset, Matthew, nice. I don't know. I don't really think I have an accent, especially. But I'm really not far from you, Matthew, and I don't think I have much of an accent from where I'm from. Okay, 158 miles till top of descent. No, it's not. It's 40 miles to top of descent. I was reading the wrong value. That's basically going to be about Manchester, isn't it, where we start making our way down. Which makes sense, because it's really not far. Like that Irish Sea, you go across that very, very quickly. I think the last time I did a flight into Dublin, I came from the south, so I sort of came over Devon, then just kissed the south of Wales, sort of like Fishguard, Pembroke area, where the ferries go from. And that's a 4-hour ferry. If you want to go to Ireland on that ferry, it's a 4-hour ride. And yeah, I think I went across in like 10 minutes. Which is a depressing thought if you're going to take the ferry. Not entirely sure what that town is beneath us. A bit lost, actually. It's not Crewe, is it? Is it Crewe? Oh, I suppose it could be Sheffield. It probably is Sheffield, actually. IRL happening. No worries, mate. You have a good trip. You enjoy yourself. Remember to relax. Hey, we're 20 miles out. "20 miles from top of descent." I think that'll be the Peak District that we're flying over. My geography isn't so strong on the north of England. Yeah, it's the Peak District. Probably because I consider anywhere north of Bristol to be the north. Whoa, that is a lot of cloud. Okay, we're going to enter our destination data. So 1003. Earth. What's the temperature on the ground in Dublin? 16 and 150 and 12. 16, 150 and 12. Do 200 in radio. Nice. That is a thick old blanket of cloud we've got to go through in a minute. Okay, really not far now till we start descending. 118 miles at 1700 feet per minute, 38,000 down to 6,000. I'm not sure if you can see that. There you go, just get some of the glare out of the way. 118 miles, and we have 122. So, let's get things set up in the window. By the time we do that, it will most likely be time to do it. 6,000 feet, and we'll do it at 1,700 feet per minute. There we go. And where are we at now? 120. $19. It's near enough, isn't it? Let's do it. Ooh, apologies. Spinning the camera around there. Stuck in the loading screen on fly-by-wire. I guess you're using their official installer. You're not just like finding it from somewhere else and dropping it into your community folder. Maybe try uninstalling it, make sure your game's up to date, make sure your drivers are up to date. Then download the fly-by-wire installer app if you haven't already and install it that way. And I guess you could always reinstall the whole sim, but that's going to take a long time, isn't it? You don't want to be doing that if you don't have to. And that's only if you use the A320neo. If you were to use another aircraft, it would work. Sometimes liveries can mess things up. So maybe clear out any liveries that you've got. That could be some of it at least. Yeah, fair enough. I would maybe start by clearing out any liveries that you have, because they can quite often be the source of problems. Alright, we're down to 34,000 feet. Another 28,000 to go. Hey, no worries. You go catch some Zeds. Thank you for coming by the stream. Appreciate seeing you. Ah, Irish captains, there you are. How you doing? Just got back from school. We're actually flying into your neck of the woods, I think. Dublin Airport. Runway 16 on the ILS is the plan. Did school help me become an IT? I mean, there wasn't an awful lot of computing going on when I was at school, as in like school. So it didn't necessarily help in that regard, but it did get me what I need to get into college, where I could do it properly. I mean, the extent that we did IT at school was like messing around with spreadsheets, which really isn't anything like what you'd be doing if you were going to do it properly, so. Once you get into college, you can start doing some software development, actual coding, programming, development. Start learning the fundamentals of what a programming language mostly consists of, and that'll apply to most of them. You can take what you learn to other languages, so don't obsess over learning one language in particular. That is, of course, if you want to go into development. There's loads of other fields within IT. There's networking, you can repair them for other people, like when their PCs or laptops go wrong. IT is a very broad term. Very handy though to get you out of a conversation if someone says, "Oh, what do you do?" to say, "Oh, I do IT." They mostly go, "Oh, okay," and then they leave you alone. We are above the Irish Sea. Yeah, we've got the Isle of Man to our right, and we're just looking at Anglesey now, which is where the ferry leaves from to go to Dublin, I believe. Is it Holyhead? Holyhead to Dublin ferry? I don't know if we can see the Isle of Man at the other window. Just make it out under those clouds. You don't say you do corporate IT because you have people... Yeah, that is the risk, actually. That is a very, very good point. One thing I used to like saying to people when I would say, "Oh, I do development work," they'd be like, "Oh, because my printer won't work." It's like, "Oh, yeah, well, you see, I don't actually understand much about that kind of stuff because I just do development." And then you can kind of get out of it. Completely different field. I know it sounds the same, but it's really not. It's funny how word travels as well. I don't know if you found that, Nate, but we had a new neighbour move in across the street. Keep in mind, I hadn't met them. I just knew that somebody was moving in. I didn't know who. And I just happened to walk out the door one day and they were stood more or less in front of me moving boxes. And the first words were, "Oh, we need to talk to you about our IT." It's like, sorry, what? Clearly, like, one of the other neighbours had said, "Oh, by the way, if you ever need any IT help, Go and see him. It's like, great, cheers, thanks for that. Have I ever argued with another passenger on board? No. Never argued with a passenger. Yeah, it's tricky, Nate. It's tricky. It's a weird thing, isn't it, to ask of somebody that works in IT just to become your IT support specialist, presumably for free as well, because I think most of them expect that they're going to get it for free. It's like I wouldn't go to a friend of mine who's a mechanic and drive my car over there and be like, oh hey, you couldn't just quickly change my gearbox or something. Like, you just wouldn't do that. Like, it's very weird. Yeah, I need to decide what I'm going to do next, really, IT-wise, career-wise. I'm sort of in the middle of a career break, I guess you could say, at the moment. Did a lot of development work. Kind of taking a little bit of time away from it while the kids are small. Being around for them a bit more. Still doing bits on the side. Just not necessarily feeling that pull to go back to development. Maybe I kind of burnt out on it a little bit. Still, just need to get this channel monetized and I'll never have to work again. Get those YouTube checks rolling in. All $4 worth. I don't actually know what I could honestly expect to make. It's a bit strange, really. Oh, where's my cursor? There it is. Right. Let's get some lights on, shall we? What's local pressure? I've forgotten already. 1003. The money to buy my own airplane, what would I buy? Yeah, live weather and time is on today. What would I buy? I quite like the look of that Honda Jet. I quite like the fact that it's not dissimilar to a car. But it's a jet. You can go really far on it. Yeah, the Honda Jet is awesome, you're right. I think the dream would to be like oh, what's it called? John Travolta. Hasn't he got like a mansion with like a runway built into it? And he just like parks his plane next, like his private jet. Just like you would drive your car onto a driveway, he just parks his jet on the driveway. I think that's awesome. That. Love it, love it, love it. Right, things are going to start to get a bit busy here, so I need to pay attention. Flight plan. So we're coming up to very, very close to Carav, if that's even how you say it. We need to be at 230 knots. .230 and 6,000 feet, then we go to 210, then 180 and 3,000. But we do have like 24 miles to achieve that. There we go, there's Carav, there's our waypoint. Surprised they get us in quite low, quite early, don't they? We're actually quite a way out into the sea. But this is a star, like a genuine star, so it isn't just me just doing whatever I want. What airline would I buy from England? I don't know, like I think the airline business is a tough business. Like, really tough business. Like, it's amazing, really, that you've got Ryanair and EasyJet that have stuck around and stood the test of time, really. Quite remarkable. Alright, so descent calculator, how many miles will we need to go from 6,000 down to 3,000? Let's do it at 1,000 feet a minute. Whoops. Damn it, can't type. Miles. Cool. So when that gets to, give it another 10 miles and we'll head down. Second hand. Yeah, I suppose you'll get one cheaper. I often wonder what, like, Donald Trump's pilot did when he became president. Because he had a 757, didn't he? And then all of a sudden it's like, well, he takes Air Force One everywhere. I guess the rest of the family still need to get around, but you'd think they would they be able to fly on their own? Let's get some lights on, it's a bit better. So we'll set 3,000 in the window and we'll do a nice gentle descent at 1,000 feet per minute. plenty of time to get us down there. There we go, there's Ireland. Maybe we will need those speed brakes after all. See the speed instantly start climbing. So we shouldn't have too much of a wind today actually. The runway we're going to land on, we're almost going to be landing into a headwind. So we will need to keep that in mind just to keep our nose down as we make our way down to the runway. Okay, it's enough looking out the window. We've got business to take care of. 180 knots. In fact, now is probably a good time to activate our approach mode, get ourselves into managed. The ILS system fired up. Get our flaps deployed. Right, it's time to land. Nearly. So we've got an approach speed of 138 today. Going to make a left turn any second, and we should have Dublin Airport right in front of us. There we go. So, auto brakes, medium, spoilers, armed, flaps full, landing lights are on. A little bit of wind going on actually, haven't we? Six knots. Definitely not nothing. Certainly not what that's reporting. Maybe it will go down the nearer we get to the ground. It's roughly in the right direction. Possibly a bit early to be calling the wind at this stage. There's our runway. Is the approach mode going to work? We're just coming up to intercepting the glide slope, so now is the time. Yes, it has. There it is.
$2,500.
How's that wind doing? It'll stay in there, isn't it? It's not going anywhere yet. DLSS does not like these dials. See that blur? That's DLSS doing that. It's great for my frames per second, but alright, autopilot off. Shifting direction on us a little bit. I think it might be. Alright. Nice and steady. Don't mess it up. People are watching. Come on. No pressure. Ooh, that was a bit of a bump there. Did you feel that?
1,000.
It's always hard to know what you will get through the stream versus what I feel sort of putting input into the plane. That was a definite bit of wind there. I was fighting that. Definitely a bit of wind here today. Changing direction on us again. Strange piece of weather. See, I never know whether this is like actual for real weather or whether it's just the sim bugging out on us when it comes to the weather.
500.
Come on, get that nose down.
400. 100 above. Minimum. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
No way that was 5 feet. No way was that 5 feet. That 5 feet felt more like 20 feet. How very weird. Well, we're down. Not particularly happy with that, if I'm being completely honest with you. Yeah, I'd give it more than 0.5 out of 10. Jeez. I don't know, that was a little bit late, Matthew. A little bit late. I'm never sure whether I trust the live weather on this. It always feels like it just behaves in a weird way. Maybe it is right. Maybe it is right. I don't know. But the wind really felt like it changed on us. And then it changed back. I don't know whether that's real, like what you would expect if you're like an actual pilot, but yeah, that really did feel quite windy and blustery on the way down there. But like 1 minute the wind was coming at us from the right, then it's coming at us from the left. It's yeah, very strange. I've had it. And we did a lot of flights in Australia a few weeks ago. They're like we'd get up into our cruise altitude and then there'd be like a 110 mile an hour crosswind on the plane during the cruise. And we checked the real weather and it was like, the weather is just not doing that. Like, that is just not the case. So I don't know. I don't know whether I'm better off leaving live weather off or just turning it on, because it feels like it just messes with us sometimes. Almost like it's more of a liability than it is a feature. It's almost like it's got conflicting information that it's trying to deliver all at once. I don't know. I don't know. That's the one thing I do know, is that I don't know. I'll do some reading into it, see if anyone online's got some more thoughts on it. Still, we made it. Not one for the Hall of Fame. I haven't had a really good one in a while. I feel like I kind of really want a good landing scene on stream. That would be nice. But we made it. That's the main thing. We made it. If you're new around here, feel free to hit the sub button. We go live several times a week. And lots of other content as well. Lots of YouTube shorts. Various other landing videos. Stuff like that. So if that's your thing, feel free to sub. You'll be very welcome. A bit harsh when you went to the landing. Don't worry. I was only messing with you. But yeah, definitely not one for the Hall of Fame, that. I am going to look into like whether other people have found weird things with the weather though, because it's not the first time that it's felt weird. There was another time in Barcelona we landed and the wind was from the east, and on the last like 3 miles of the approach it went from the east. The wind then wrapped all the way around us and then ended up blowing at us from the west. So it's like, is that a thing? Is that really a thing? Like, does the weather actually do that in real life? I don't know, because I'm not a real pilot, but it feels like it probably shouldn't do that. Hey, no worries, Matthew. Take it easy. Nice seeing you. So yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm at a bit of a loss. I like to use the live weather because I feel like that adds an extra dimension to the stream. Especially if you've got viewers that are in the area that I'm landing into, it's kind of cool because they can see what the weather's doing on the sim versus what it's doing outside. It's a very strange one. Oh, Europe's here. Not again. Literally, we just finished. There's always a next time. Tomorrow I'm going to do a stream, but it will be a pre-recorded stream because I'm not around tomorrow. But I want to put something out for you all. Get out of here. The weather is not good at all. A lot of clouds here. Oh, okay. Come and force me to stream. Well. There will be a stream tomorrow, though. There will be a stream. It's just I won't be here in person to talk over it and commentate. I'm probably going to turn the chat off as well. Just be aware of that if you're expecting there to be a chat, because basically I've got to go out tomorrow. But I do have like a 4-hour flight pre-done that I can stream for you all. So it's actually raining. Okay, so this weather is definitely not right then, is it? So yeah, I'll do that stream tomorrow. I'll set it going, go out, and hopefully I'll be back in time to turn the stream off when it's finished. But I will turn the chat off, I think, just because when all the bots turn up, as they quite often do, I won't be here to sort of block them and delete their messages, that sort of thing. So I don't really like the idea of leaving chat live without me being here to monitor it. But if you're into a bit of background noise, white noise, plane noise, engine noise, we're going from Cyprus back to Gatwick in the A330, so it's quite a cool route, quite a cool plane. Yeah, if that's your thing, that'll be tomorrow. Not entirely sure what time, but it'll probably be late morning / after lunch that I'll set it going. So that'll be that. Anyway, I'm rambling. Welcome to Dublin. Sorry about the landing. And I'll hopefully see you all soon. You'll take care of yourselves.